Good morning. Welcome to the Breakfast Show. As we have seen, the Dow Jones on my chart in here seems to be falling, but rest assured the wicks has also flattened out a bit. That means the market on the US side may stabilize, and we want to see some sort of recovery this morning, especially in the last trading day of September, and we're going to the October season in here. I know it's very bearish, but there are some opportunity if you know how to look for them, and that's why we are here with the VSA 360 in here, enabling you to find some sort of short-term trading, like getting a fishes while going to fishing every day. Now let's see what we have for you prepared in this morning breakfast show in here. So first thing, let's take a look at what we have, and definitely in this session we want to talk about how to read the market bottom, and if and when the market is likely to be bottom. As I said earlier on, some of the scenario that we have seen definitely has pointed out that the KLSE may come into a flattening. We've been down almost 7 or 8 or 9 bars, and historically at this level the market usually will see some sort of upturn in here. I know it's bearish in here, but there are some opportunity in here. So definitely for those slightly medium term, longer term people, you might want to wait until the market turning green pentagon. And of course, those of you who have hit it and got out when we saw the red pentagon, and we're going to be looking on the KLSE when it first came out in here, and also the other position that we have on our Pentagon trading portfolio, we entirely had cut loss, and we sort of stay away from the market until we see the KLSE turning back to green pentagon in here. Now the KLSE continued to mark down on the stage 4 in here using the Pentagon Guider stock screener. Looking for intraday will be great, right? So even in this bearish market, you can stay out if you don't have the right tool, but those of you who have the right tool may want to try out this way in here. Successful back testing is one of the key. Now you really want to back test this to ensure that these things are working out, and let me show it to you today, some of those trades that we have seen even going back to last week, since last week was 23rd, and you're able to do that. So let VSA do the hard work for you, especially if you are inexperienced in looking for the kind of stocks in here. And don't forget to sign up our 10-day free trial to learn more, worth $266 with the 30-minute training in here. Now, of course, this is the Pentagon Guided trading portfolio that we've been setting up for a while in here. As I said before, we have pretty much stay out. I think we have also cut the last trade that we have chrono, and I just updated recently in here, so you can also follow it from our Pentagon. But those of you who have seen can also feedback to us what are the changes you like me to have on our breakfast show. Like to hear your feedback in here. Now let's get on to our Pentagon Guider, helping you to trade smarter every time with intraday alert. Now, some of the new features I think we've been talking for the month of September, and many of you, especially our members, may familiarize with our visual trading plan, the stock alert and notification, and also giving it the risk to reward ratio, whether the trade is worthwhile to take or not. And definitely the intraday Pentagon Guider, which is something that we showcase here every morning, something that I do trade on. Now let's look at the things that we should know of with our VSA 360 and where we are right now. Okay, so you look at the Pentagon Guider in here, and okay, there you go. So first of all, let's look at our dashboard, and we have the market, as I said before, broke below the 1400 in here. These are my least in that I have. Looks like the revenue is down, it's down 2%. Frontend is down 0.7. Perak Trans, IJM, these are my list in here. But what's more important is this red pentagon, which first came out on the 14th of September. You could see that 14th of September, and that was almost about 2 weeks ago. And if you hear that, that will be somewhere around the 1470, and we have broken almost 70 points down in here. So the alert, we only have another one, red alert, a lot of red alert. If you can see that, a lot of my personal notification, it did hit early on. Favorite for this stock, Kobe hit red pentagon to red pentagon, Dufu, SLP, And many of the stocks are really Inari second entry. That was also red pentagon. Tafik hit green. Only Tafik actually did pretty well. That's the one we have taken profit already. Green pentagon on our intraday alert. Remaining all this, you should take note. Some of these are notified almost 3 days ago, which tell you earlier what's happening in here is by no surprises in here. Okay, and let's get back to the overall market that we want to be looking at. Definitely this is where the problem lies, is the foreign fund outflow. As I said before, as long as the foreign fund continue to leave, and of course reason that many of you may have know is the likelihood of a stronger US dollar due to the another interest rate hike, maybe at 100 basis point by the US FOMC, perhaps in the month of October. But that's going to be depending on the inflation figures that will be coming out on the 13th of October. If the inflation figure are lower, then you'll see the market likely to rally up, and they might just delay the interest rate hike. And judging from here, the foreign fund flows are the red color here. That's the outflow, and that's why we are seeing the KLCI falling in tandem with the outflow of foreign fund in here. Right now, healthcare seems to take the worst turn. The only positive one are REITs, followed by consumer, construction, even energy has turned below the KLCI. Energy is somewhere around here, started to turn in it. And let's take a look at the so-called sector analysis in here. You can see everything is red, right? And the worst performer are healthcare, which is down 12% here. So if you click on that one, you can see this is what I mean. This market really, breaking down and awful, really awful here. And the next one is plantation. And you can see also breaking down in here. So that's really a tall tale sign, and that's what we are sticking to the intraday trade, which we have said at least have some sort of silver lining amount. Everything that you see that is red in here. Okay, the market did try to break up. Eventually, as I said before, we eventually turn in. And again, month of September, looking at the seasonality chart that we've seen here, it does represent one of the worst performing, which very early on this month, in the month of September, we already talked about in here. September is the worst month. October, a little bit of recovery. Okay, month of October, I do think that every time when we see this last year that we have, the month of September almost down 4%, we have a 1.6% in here. And I do think October month is a nice month to recover for those of you who are thinking of trading a short term. October will recover, then you get a bit of sell-off in November, and then December will be the most positive month. And if we do have some sort of election, then that will take on to the November and December in here. All right, remember last year, the last general election 14, we have it in May, and you can see subsequent 2 months there was a sell-off. So if we have it in December, month of December would likely to rally, and then you will go on to maybe January, a bit of a sell-off for 2023. So this is a very important part of the VSA 360 to know where we are heading off right now in here. So Pentagon Idea, CFM has done pretty well. That's a 82% profit way back in August. So you still can find some sort of realistic in here. So let's take a look at the area we want to be looking at. And so what are the news that we have seen on the stock exchange here? News by Pentagon flows. So we can see a lot of these are still in red Pentagon. BJ Food are positive, but it's in red Pentagon in here. Let's take a look at BJ Food here, right? And the market is right, it's also all turned red Pentagon too, right? Turn red Pentagon, so not good. When it's red Pentagon, you want to stay out, and that's what the visual in here. S1 in here, if you have S1, R1 is 102, your target profit about 102, somewhere around here. I think you can just extend this, you can see the chart in here. So everything is very interactive in here. So it does look like nothing much. So one of the best way to pick up some of these trend is to look into what we call the intraday movement. All right, And so let's see what are outstanding in here. Personal notification, I think we just talked about that in here. And regional is also turning. Now, the likelihood of the KLCI to reverse sooner, we have to look for the changes in the SOS. Right now, you can see we are in the stage 4. And like what we want to see is some sort of a volume that comes in at a huge, and that's where it will arrest this downtrend and market will move sideways. Green Pentagon will be something that happened after we've seen that huge volume and to arrest that downtrend in here. So again, SOS, you need to look for those in here. So this is the current market that we are seeing right now. You can see since on the 14th of September, we've been down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. One of the longest that I've seen. And of course, if you have seen that also tally back with the foreign funds outflow, right? So no surprises in here. Those of you who know once foreign fund flow, that's where they're flowing back to the US market, I believe, which is more matured in here. And that's where we are seeing this market. And still in the downtrend, and you can also see the railway track is opening downwards. So that is still a lot of downtrend movement going further down in here, right? The 20-day moving average seems to be this resistance that we are getting in. So right now in downtrend, stage 4, we are looking at changes in the SOW, changes in the SOW. So KLCI market bottom, I believe we are very close to the market bottom because we almost have 8 or 9 bars, coming even to 10 bars in here. So that's actually a good area. And of course, some of those individual stocks that we are looking for with the right stage 2 markup with good volume will be there. And that's how our 20-day challenge able to find that through our VSA 360 intraday trading. And they are the winner way back in June, which they do find again in difficulty times. Also the month of June was also very bearish. They are able to do pretty significantly well with 23 and 28% for the top winners in here. So focus on the Pentagon Guider in here. If you have not, get our free 10-day trial in here, no obligation. And let's take a look at the Pentagon Guider daily intraday screener going back to the 23rd. Now I always choose the morning session because right now this is the morning session that we talk about in here. And you could see criteria, we pick something around the 47 cents, which many of you listener are already familiar with. And if any stocks you want me to look at, just pencil those in the comment. I'm happy to look into them, and I'll be looking. So these are the 4 stocks that we'll be looking at. First one was SCOMNET. Then SCOMNET was above 163, pick it up around at 920, so that's above the 47 cents. Wrestling Tech. Then we have the next one, KTB. We are not because that's 20 cent. And Toyo Venture. All right, Toyo Venture. Even Aegis of 37 cents. We didn't want to pick it up because it's below the 47 cent threshold in here. So first one is Optimax. Pick it up, VSA 360 try to pick it up around 920 at 755 cents in here. Notice it's above the zero market suggestion. That's pretty good. And subsequently 1, 2, 3, 4 days later, hit 80.5 cents, giving a potential gain, the so-called price gain of 6.5%. If you have 5K, that's 331 gross profit in here. The case of simply buying on Pentagon intraday in here. So buy and then in here. Now there's a trade, don't work all the time. In this case, Wrestling Tech, which spotted at 936 at 56 cents in here. And it's also, at that time, it started to turn green Pentagon, but do take note, it did become a uptrust. You can see, right, an uptrust because this thing was a green Pentagon at 936. Now remember, we are using a daily intraday chart in here, and of course during that time, with the market close lower, failed to turn to fully green Pentagon and close with a sign of weakness, which is an uptrust. That's where you need to exit on the closing, or at least exit in the morning in here, and not have some sort of a suffer the market drawdown here. That's one of the things you need to do. Not all intraday trades work out in here, and those of you who have done this will probably understand what I'm talking about. Right. The other trades did came out spotted was Toyo Venture. spotted at 10 a.m. 64 cents in here. Now this one didn't turn green, Pentagon, you notice, right? But at least it closed with a what we call a green candlestick. That's pretty positive, but eventually it turned the next day to just sort of, you know, U-turn it, very similar to one of the earlier trades. It hit 70 cents, so you spotted at 64, giving it a 9.3% possible price gain in here, giving it a 5K, a 468 ringgit by just simply following the Pentagon intraday daily in here. Still some opting before the market sell off. So that's why we always say you want to have very, very small target profit. Even if you have 3-4% in here, maximum about 8-9%. The days that you are going for the 30% only will be applicable if you are, you know, in a bullish trend. But right now we are not in that kind of bullish trend. I think we all have to be realistic with what we have, and that's why I always say, well, fishermen go out and catches small fish. When maybe it's a good season, you catch bigger fish. But right now, smaller fishes like 4-5% is still doable. Despite many of you may not be able to find it, but VSA 360 allow and enhance the ability for you to find this kind of trade in here. And next, last but not least, ComniNet spotted at 163 at 920 in here. And then you can see went up to, that was on the 23rd, okay, 23rd. And then I think 2 days ago, hit high of 170, 4.2% potential price gain with a possible profit gain, gross gain of 214 ringgit from a 5,000 trade. In the case, again, simply a buying Pentagon guided intraday daily alert. So of course, we still send out our intraday report, which will be activated next week. Okay, so these are the report will be sent out, and you're able to see some of those intraday winner. Now remember, what we saw, those are slightly holding up over a period of 3-4 days, but we want to showcase some of you who do want to trade intraday in here. This may be a good starting point for our intraday report that will send out to all our members in here. Now I think that the idea are very similar. You're just a fisherman out there trying to get a few fish in here, and especially month of September, which already giving you a 7% downtrend in here, which is reasonably a success. And out those trades that you're seeing, the snapshot, right? And of course you can check it out through our 10-day trial and go on to the 23rd of September. You'll see same thing what I've just shared with you in here, picking up those the matter of just doing the work of the trading and the buying and selling activation on your account, right? Small terms is a newfound opportunity. Every day got fishes in here. Remember criteria, 47 cents, good volume with 3 or 4% in here, maximum target 8-9%, like I've shown you those in here. And usually you want to exit within 5 days, all right? Maximum about 5 days in here. Beginner stay on the course until the 5 days. Experienced trader maybe want to run it a bit more, but as I said before, you want to be more efficient and letting it like rather than one fishing rod, you have 3 fishing rods, and let VSA 360 do the hard work and the heavy lifting for you in here, right? So let's take a look at what we have this morning on our VSA 360 in here. And of course, I'm just going to scroll back here. Here we are going to go to the, let's take a look first. Go to my weekly dashboard. All right, and I'm going to go on to my premium alert intraday. And oh, more red Pentagon. You can see 920, 920, 910. Only one that's Yuli. So let's take a look at Yuli here. Now we want to pick stock that is actually in the uptrend. Nice uptrend in here, where the trend, you can see from this one here, it's still pretty much in the sideway. So maybe next week we might not have anything at all right? Probably we have to scroll to maybe 11 o'clock, but by end this will be already end of session. So that's important to usually all our members who have the intraday stock notification, just leave it up on the screen and let it run. It's more like, the signal come to you. It's like turning on your news and watching it. Those red Pentagon, you want to keep it a miss in here, but it does look like the other one is Cheetah Global in here at 916. Let's take a look at that one, right? And you want to have some sort of like SCOMNET where the railway tracks is up, and that's a nice one here. So Cheetah Global here, That's the kind of stocks you want to have. Yep, this one's not too bad. You can see, Cheetah Global in here. This one is, take an uptrust in here, but you can still have this uptrust. Let's see, this is not bad. This one in here, despite the market, if the market were to push up, you're going to have this market uptrust to be real tested in here again. But since then, green pentagon, and if you just draw your lines here, right, hitting what's almost a 30%. So this one in here, again, for if you're a beginner, I don't recommend this one because it's below the 47 threshold mark in here. Even Yuli is 26. So right now we don't have anything. So we just need to wait past maybe the next 10 minutes and so. And that's why it's important, as I said before, if you have this intraday alert, all you gotta do is just leave it up and let it run. Right now, a lot of red pentagon in here, and quite easy, isn't it? VSA 360 doing the hard work for you. Of course, that's how our members like Eric happened to do that in the month of June when the market was bearish, and able to follow those simple rules. And if you can string a series of winner in 1 month, that's how you make that 28.6% in here. And this always been our goal, to train our member through our VSA 20 days challenge in here. All right. And of course, those of you who have not tried it out, this is our 10-day free trial coupon here. Just scan the QR code and schedule for coaching lesson, and you can activate it for 10-day free trial and check it out. And of course, those of you ready, the kind of investment and time, right, first mover advantage, can subscribe to our system in here and use it in here. And of course, our great patron like yourself who is listening, our members, and also the public. Thank you again for your Google review in here. And in a line with together what we are watching in here, we are talking for the month of October. New topic. First talk will be on the 5th of October, would be the portfolio restructuring and adjust and renew your portfolio. This is especially some of the members who have, sort of with the portfolio which is still stuck on those rubber glove stocks, and what do you want to do with. Maybe this is how I would give you a couple of suggestions and insights. How would I do it in here? Then following on the 12th and 19th October, how would the market react to G50? And remember, the budget is on the October 7th. So if the parliament does get dissolved after the October 7th, so we'll be talking about it on the October 19th and G15. What kind of theme you'll be focusing on? So for the month of October is the general election 15, the topic that we're talking about here. So make sure you join me in here, right? So we love to see your feedback in here. And of course, for those of you who want to, do give us your Google comment and review or feedback, and you stand a chance to win a 3-month membership with the VSA 360 intraday in here. All right, and if you have any stocks want me to look at, this is the right time. There's a comment in here, Long Chan. Another data point show that September is a buying call. Yes, assuming you're buying at the low, I would agree with you, because October always it turned. You can see from the VSA 360, it has been a seasonality for the last as long as I remember, the 6 or 7 years in there. That's a good one, Mr. Chan there. Okay, so if you have any shares you want me to look at, do pencil those in there. I'm happy to look into them. Thank you for your comment again. You've been great audience in here. Thank you for sharing in here, right? And don't forget, right, to subscribe to our YouTube channel if you have not done so, not to miss out any of our great insight and education to the happening of VSA method in the KLSE as well, the US market in here. And do join our Telegram chat room or even spread that to your friends and colleagues. Make sure you enjoy. So that's all we have. There's another question from Kevin. Finance counter. Okay, let's take a look at finance counter. So definitely first thing, if I want to look at finance counter, I would bring up my intraday chart first. Finance counter here. Finance, you can see right now. Let's take a look at the sector chart first. So let's look at finance. So you can see finance has been really falling in here. My take is actually it shouldn't be. It should be, turning up because of the interest rate hike, which is likelihood they're going to be experiencing. So margin will be better. But this is, I believe, is due to foreign funds, which usually hold a lot of our financial sectors in here. And that's what when they are selling, that's why the stock. Right now you have some sort of support in here. And if you look at the chart, the favorite one, you can go in and look at, of course, Affin will be the strongest of them all, small cap stocks, right? You can see those are also taking a hit too. A lot of the charts are taking a hit. The finance in here, and then if you take on to public bank, okay, they will be taking hit too. So a lot of these stocks are taking a hit, right? But I think it will sort of be stabilized in here. I know it's messy. If you want to buy on the longer term, you might just have to wait for the green pentagon on that matter in here. At least there will some sort of a timing mechanism in here. All right, Kevin? All right, thank you for your comment in here. And don't forget to share and like our comment. And I'll see you on Monday again for our breakfast show. Thank you again, and thank you for spending your time with me. I enjoy your presence in here. Bye bye, and have a nice day.